Hello and welcome to class 11. Dear all, now we are going to start some important points for the class 11 syllabus of biology subject. Now you can see our biology syllabus comprises of two parts, practical as well as theory. Theory part consists of 70 marks and practical is of 30 marks. Now this theory paper consists of 5 units and these 5 units consist of different chapters. So first unit is diversity of living world, which is comprises of 4 chapters in which we will study about the classification, the living world, then plant kingdom, animal kingdom, all the classification, nomenclature, all those things we will discuss in this unit. Now the second unit, that is the structural organization in animals and plant. It consists of 3 chapters in which we will study about the morphology, anatomy of the plants as well as animals, their functioning, all those things. Then unit 3 consists of cell, its structure and function, which consists of the biomolecules, then cell structure, then its division, that is meiosis, mitosis, all we will discuss in this unit. Now unit 4 consists of the plant physiology, having 5 chapters in which we will study about the different growth, all the metabolic activities in the plant, their reproduction, all the things we will study in this plant physiology. Then the 5th unit comprises of 7 chapters, that is animal physiology, in which we will study about different type of system, their functioning, disorders, as well all the things we will discuss in this syllabus.
Hello student, we are going to start our biology class from today. All the best to all of you. Now first of all we have to understand what is biology. Biology comprises of 2 words, that is bios and logia, means study of biology, which includes the study of the living organisms having different characteristics like growth, metabolism, consciousness, reproduction, etc., etc., which differentiate between the living thing as well as non-living thing. Biology consists of 2 branches, botany as well as zoology. In botany we study about the plants and in zoology we study about the organisms. Now father of biology is known as Aristotle and he is also known as father of zoology, and father of botany is Theophrastus, and they had given a lot of contribution in this field. Now there are so many branches of zoology in which we study, like number 1, that is morphology. Morphology is the study of external structure of any living being, either plant or organism. Now anatomy, we study about the internal organs. Physiology, that is functioning of different parts of the body, different system of the body, different types of life processes. Cytology, the structure and function as well as division of the cells, that is known as cytology. In this branch we study about the cell behavior, etc. Now histology, that is study of tissue and how they behave, in which condition they behave in different way, all these things we study in the histology. Now genetics is the branch of zoology, or you can say botany also. This is a branch of biology in which we study about the characteristic feature of the chromosomes, how they are responsible for transmission of character from one generation to other, and how they are segregating during the gamete formation, etc. All we study in this. Now ecology is the study of ecos, that is ecosystem, living organism, environment, that is biotic and abiotic factors, how they interact with each other. All these things we will study in this ecology. Now taxonomy is the branch of classification in which we identify, classify, then give nomenclature to the organism, living plants, organism, all, and hence it is known as taxonomy. Here we can see different branches of biology, that is anatomy, cytology, histology, biochemistry, that is chemistry, what are the chemicals which are involved in the formation of the body, cell, different parts, physiology of internal function of, that is functioning of different organ, different system, genetics which deals about the heredity, variation, etc. Embryology, that is the development of the embryo till the formation of adult. Then biotechnology, that is genetic engineering, which nowadays it is very popular and it is helping and doing a lot in different areas. Then the parasitology, that is the study of parasite. Then taxonomy, that is classification and arranging of the plants as well as organism. Then ethology, behavior of the body, behavior of different parts of the body. Then immunology, that is immunity science, how our immunity of the body can be developed or maintained. Then ecology, study of the environment. Then pathology, different types of disease, the pathogens and their cure, treatment, etc. And so many more, so many branches of biology are there. Now here we can see different branches of zoology as well as botany. The study of insect is known as entomology. Then herpetology is the study of reptiles and amphibians. Ichthyology is the study of fish. Mammalogy, that is study of mammal. Ornithology, that is study of birds. And marine biology, that is study of the organism which are living in the salty water or marine water. Now here branches of botany that we have already discussed, that is anatomy, internal structure, that is tissue, internal organs, etc. that we can only see or learn, study after dissection. Then genetics, that is the behavior of the chromosome. Then transmission of character, hereditary character, how they are appearing in the offspring, all these things we will study in this plant genetics. Then ecology, study of the living abiotic as well as biotic component, their interaction and their effect on each, how they are affecting each other, all these things. Then paleobotany, that is the study of the fossil as well as evolution of the plant, the phylogenetic relationship. Then plant physiology, that is different types of metabolism which are occurring in the plant's body, that will do in this plant physiology. And finally the plant pathology, the study of the plant diseases, their cure, about their pathogens, about their prevention, all these things we will study here.
Hello students, our first unit comprises of 4 chapters, and the first chapter is the living world, in which this is the introductory chapter, in which we will study about different types of living beings, their characteristics, how they are different from the non-living beings, non-living things, and what are the characteristics, main characteristics which is different from the living world. Then we will discuss about the diversity, their classification, etc. First of all, we will discuss or focus on the characteristics, which characteristics are present in the living being but not in the non-living being. The living world mainly consists of different types of plants, animals, microorganisms, etc. And the living world interacting with the non-living world, that is, you are already aware that the soil, water, temperature, light, topography, etc., etc. So their interaction is going on between the living world as well as non-living world. Here we are studying about the characteristic feature on the basis of which we can differentiate between the living thing, living beings as well as the non-living things. So different characteristics are nutrition, cellular structure, respiration, metabolism, movement, growth, reproduction, consciousness, definite life cycle, self-regulation. Now nutrition. All the living thing requires nutrition for their growth and metabolic activities that the non-living things does not. Now the cellular structure. All the living things, living beings are consisting of, made up of the structural and functional unit of life, that is cell. Now its structure having the protoplasm, the nucleus, so different whatever the cellular structure, then these cells in the multicellular organism, these cells forms the tissue, then organ system. So in this way, this is the structure which is not present in the non-living. Now respiration. Each and every living being requires respiration for their survival. Then metabolism. Metabolism consists of 2 parts, anabolism as well as catabolism. Anabolism is the constructive process to synthesize something from the simple thing, and catabolism to break the complex thing into the simpler thing to give energy and other purposes. So These anabolism as well as catabolism are collectively known as metabolism, which occurs only in the living one, not in the non-living things. Now, movement. Each and every organism as well as living being, that is showing this movement, but plants remain anchored in the soil. But they also show different types of movement, like towards the earth, towards the light, etc. So, but their movement is of different type. Then growth. All the living organism undergoes the process of growth, but due to the internal reason. Okay. Now, here, next is reproduction. The living organism undergoes reproduction, not production. That means they give rise to the young ones like their own. Then consciousness. They have different sense organs and hence they show consciousness, and this is the most important characteristic which is present in all the living beings. Then definite life cycle. That means all the living organism shows birth, then their growth, development, their senescence, and finally death. They undergoes all these stages, and that's why it is known as definite life cycle. Then self-regulation system or the controlling system. That means all the activities in their life, in the body, is controlled by some system. For example, nervous system, endocrinal system. So all these systems are helping in the self-regulation. That means they are self-regulating. The system is already present in their body to control all the activities. Hence, they are known as self-regulatory purpose. The organs, that system, that is endocrinal, nervous system. So these are helping in the self-regulation of living organism, which we can't say in the non-living one.
Now in this figure we can see the different characteristics of the living organism as well as plant. How they are different from the non-living thing. That is, first one is their different level of organization. First of all, they are made up of the cells, that is the structural and functional unit of life, and they form different levels. That means some of the organism made up of the unicellular, that is single cell, then they perform all the activities by the single cell. But when we will move toward the complexity, multicellular organism, you can see different level of organization, that is tissue level, organ system level. In this way, they are showing different level of organization. Then all of these requires the nutrition, which will give energy for their growth and development. So they undergo the process of nutrition as well as respiration for the assimilation of energy. Then the energy which is liberated in different types of metabolism is utilized for the growth as well as development. They complete their life cycle. Then they respond toward the environment, that is most important type of this characteristic feature, in which, that is consciousness. They show different type of response towards the external stimuli. All the living organisms are capable of reproduction. That means they produce the young ones like them only, either through vivipary or ovipary, which we can't say in the non-living thing. Here you can see the biological as well as physical hierarchy. In biology, you can see the organization, the living organism made up of cells. Cell will form the tissue, then organ system, and finally the organ system will form the organism. So this is the biological hierarchy. But in case of non-living thing, they are made up of proton, neutron, electrons. They will form atom and finally compound, and that is showing the physical hierarchy.